Hey, how's it going everyone? My name is Morgan and welcome to today's video. So with the weekly rotating Horde challenges, I've been getting a couple of people asking me how exactly to get this one done. The one for this week is Bulletproof Husk, which means the husk will take drastically reduced damage from your ranged weapons. The challenge isn't all that hard. I personally thought it was a little fun. It was a nice change of pace from what we're normally doing in Challenge the Horde, but to some of the lower level players, they might find this to be a little difficult. So I decided to go through and put together some tips and tricks that I think might stand out to somebody trying to get this done. It's actually worth doing this week if you're somebody that wants to get stuff from the event store, because you do get 1500 gold from your first completion of this challenge. So let's go ahead and get right into this. First up, Machinist Thoris. She's available in the event store and she is an amazing constructor for this challenge due to her amazing trap buffs. Setting up a minor trap tunnel and then keeping the husk in it with decoy allows you to deal pretty significant damage, and you can also throw in a plasma pulse as it's an ability and it's not affected by the challenge modifier. The husks are taking reduced damage from your bullets, so you're going to have to find other means of doing damage, and traps are definitely a solid source of damage, and Machinist Thoris and Machinist Harper will push that one step further. Second, explosive weapons are still usable, but they deal slightly less damage than they normally would, and they're still pretty useful for keeping husks pushed back. My go-to melee weapon for this is either a bazooka or a dam buster. Even though it's not doing as much damage as it normally would, the dam buster is phenomenal for pushing the husk back into the tunnels. If I have a couple starting to pour out, I'll put a rocket right in front of them and it sends them flying right back into the trap tunnels and hopefully finishes them off if they weren't killed by my traps to begin with. Next, ability-based heroes really come in handy as well, as they're not affected by the modifiers. Master Grenadier Ramirez, Shuriken Master Sarah, Dragon Scorch, and heroes like this are great for dealing with large groups of husks, and it works even better if you're using a controller constructor running decoys as well. Outlanders with Teddy and Shock Tower are also not affected by the modifier, so something like an Enforcer Grizzly or Fragment Flurry will work very well as well. I personally prefer Enforcer Grizzly. His Teddy can do some serious damage, it snares the husk and all kinds of stuff, so he's definitely a solid ability based hero to use for this. Melee heroes also shine pretty well during this challenge due to them not being affected by the modifier when it comes to dealing melee damage. So if you have something like Steel Wool Sid, Swordmaster Ken, or Harvester Sarah, they are all viable to use even in the higher levels. The husk will take increased damage from your melee weapons, so it's definitely fun to get into a pretty big group and just go to town with some melee. And then last, if you guys want an offensive gadget, the hover turrets still deal their standard damage and are useful when a bunch of husks are grouped together. I normally, when I do Challenge the Horde, run Adrenaline Rush and Slowfield, but with this challenge, the Slowfield's not even necessary. Just throw on like an Adrenaline Rush and turrets. You could also try like the Proximity Mines and stuff if you want to deal some damage with that, but Adrenaline Rush and hover turrets are my go-to for this. The challenge is actually really easy. Just focus on building some pretty decent trap tunnels. It doesn't have to be anything extravagant, and then an ability-based hero will do very nicely here. The challenge is a lot of fun. It's a nice change of pace from what we normally have, and I want to see more modifiers that alter gameplay just a little bit. This one didn't alter things all that much. It was just a nice little change up, but I want to see more drastic changes to how we play Challenge the Horde just to keep things fresh for the duration of the season that this is active. But if you guys enjoyed today's video or found it helpful, a like is always appreciated, and if you guys do happen to be new to Split Screen, be sure to subscribe for everything Fortnite and more. Once again, my name is Morgan, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.